project with all the dry fitting done on the engine and trans. I pulled both of them out, engine sitting here on an engine stand. The next phase of the project is to redo the front suspension, which is one of the things that I've wanted to do. So first step there is to get everything tore off on the front. James is actually going to come and give me a hand again. It's been a while since he's been here to work on it. And we're going to get everything tore off. So let's get started. Okay, first step for getting all the front end off is we're going to get the brakes and brake hardware and brake lines and all that stuff off. First thing we're doing is taking off all the brake lines. So far working on the driver's side, we've got all the brake lines removed and ready to remove the caliper. Alright, James is getting the caliper loose. The bolt on the top's loose. Find the one on the bottom there, James, and get that one loose before you take the top out. Next step is to pull the rotors off. James is getting the cotter pin off, so we can do that. Next step is to get the steering linkage and stuff separated from and we need to pull the shock out from the center of the spring. And we need to remove the sway bar links, and we'll just take the whole sway bar off to get it out of the way. Alright, we got everything stripped off. Now we need to get the coil spring compressed and break the ball joints loose so we can get the A-arms off. So we got the spring compressor on the spring, we broke the ball joints loose, so now we're going to lower the lower A-arm and hopefully pull the spring out.
Good afternoon to you. My name's Jen Marr. Bear with us. We're getting a little roundouts around here. Every now and then we're getting kicked off a bit, but we're maintained. We're here. We're keeping you rocking throughout the rest of the day.
We got the spring out. Taking the spring compressor off it now. Spring's out. We'll take the spindle off, and then we'll pull the A-arms off. Alright, we had to remove the steering box so we could get the steering column out of the way to get the A-arm off. I think it's loose, James. Just tilt it up and it should push off the studs. So basically we'll just repeat on the other side. So it's all finished, everything's taken off. Stripped it right down to the frame rails. One thing we didn't show was taking out the steering box and the steering column. If you want to see how the steering box comes out, you can look at one of the previous videos. The steering column was just a slip joint up at the top, a lot like the rag joint coupling is on the steering box. So the next step will be to get all this cleaned up and painted so it looks nice. What I'm going to do for the front suspension is I bought a complete Global West tubular A-arm, upper and lower, coil-over shock conversion kit for the front end. Ought to make it handle a lot nicer, ride a lot nicer also. And that's going to be the next few installments, is doing all the stuff. If you just want to see the LS stuff, you're going to have to wait a couple of episodes, but I'll get back into it. I want to get this done first. So stay tuned.